Where's my answer here? So why would anybody sell me their house up to, huh? It's like a big question that like everybody keeps asking. Like, how are you taking over mortgage payments from someone and still they're okay with you having the mortgage in their name while you own the property and you own the title? And it's like a conversation that I keep hearing and people asking me the same questions over and over again. Or like, why would the seller finance you their whole house and give you such a good low rate and give you a balloon of like 5 to 10 years to pay off the mortgage? And my answer always to that is number one is because I make offers, right? No, that's number one. So I always make offers, like whatever it is, if it's low ball, whatever, if it's creative, I always teach my team and teach myself, right? To always make offers because without offers, you have no deals. So you have to look at your KPIs. If you're hesitant about making an offer, just press that damn button and send out the offer. The worst thing they could say is no, or they'll come back to you and they'll say, hey, we like this, we don't like this, we want a rebuttal. We want to go ahead and counter your offer, right? That's the worst thing that can happen. You're never going to see these people probably in your life. I do stuff nationwide. We make offers all the time. If a realtor is insulted by the offer, I don't give a shit. Like it is what it is. Like the market is not in their favor right now. So, it's not like we're trying to get houses for, like cheap or for free, but the offers that we're making are based on what the current market conditions are. So a lot of you guys out there that are making these offers, it seems like they're doing you a favor. Like they're the ones selling the house, guys. Like you're the buyer. You're the one that's going to not only pay them, pay the seller, pay for closing costs, pay for everything else. So you guys got to understand that you have the upper hand here, right? So recently I just closed a deal in Panama City Beach, Florida, where it was a Subto deal and I assigned it. It was a beautiful home, fully furnished. And same thing, like, why would the seller allow you to take over the payments? Well, because the seller is already moved out. He's in a different state. He's a veteran, right? He's paying 2 mortgages. So that means he's bleeding, right? He doesn't want to bleed. He wants to bleed every single month. Not all of us have the luxury of having hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting in the bank account and allow for bleeding to happen on properties, right? When a property's bleeding, that means your pocket's bleeding. And so it all comes down to confidence and how you explain these things to sellers, because if you don't know how to explain it in layman's terms and how they're protected and why this is the best option for them, you're never going to get the deal. So like if you're not practicing your scripts, if you're not practicing your objections, if you're not practicing your rebuttals, all you're going to hear when you replay back your conversation is oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. Let me find out for you. Do you think someone's really gonna like trust you with their biggest asset to take over their payments if that's how you talk? And if that's how you talk, like you're never gonna get a deal. Unless you're just going through email and you're really good with email etiquette. That's a whole different story. But you have to be confident, man. You have to be confident when you're talking to these agents. Like I talked to an agent yesterday. It was the funniest thing ever. I told him that I will accommodate him by signing his purchase contract just for compliance reasons, but he would have to use my contract and my addendums to get the transaction and process. He was like, oh, you don't understand this. Like, we can't do this here in California, whatever, this, and that. I'm like, all right, dude, like I've done this before. So I just kind of gave him like, okay, I understand. Let's just use, whatever you want to do, right? But the funny thing is there was another partner on this deal. And there was another agent that was actually their listing. They were just partnering up on it. And we got the other agent on the line and the other agent, and we started talking to the other agent. The other agent's like super cool. Like, he's like, yeah, you know what? Send it over. He's like, you guys can just sign our contract. We'll use it for compliance reasons. And I'm just like, this guy and this other agent that was on the phone, right? He first like talked down to me, like everything that I was telling him about creative finance, and then after that conversation, when the other agent actually confirmed what I was saying, like he lit verbatim, like he's like, okay, we'll use our contract for compliance reasons, and we could use your contract for the actual transaction. So when the conversation ended, I was like, Richard, um, I'm not sure if I heard this right, but did the other agent say that we could use their contract for compliance reasons? So I kind of wanted to put him in his place just a little bit, because these agents, I've been in the business for 25 years, and I could probably be your grandfather or father. And they all for legal purposes. I have to do this. I have to do that. Like, all right, man. Well, 25 years of traditional real estate, I completely understand. 99% is done that way, but 1% is done my way. So if you want to learn my way, then, if you give me 5 minutes to explain, I'll teach you my way, and I'll get you paid. I'll get your seller paid. We'll move on. We'll get everybody paid. And he kind of brought his guard down. And he's like, at the end of the conversation, he's like, Michael, you know what? You sound like an intelligent man, somebody I want to work with. This seller owns a lot of properties. If we can get this one done, we can probably wipe out his whole portfolio. And it's crazy how like the demeanor, the tone changed after the other agent literally confirmed what I was saying the whole time to this other agent about just using their contract for their brokerage compliance reasons, and how the deal is going to be structured. And I thought that was kind of funny, because I was like, okay, I was kind of acting stupid at one point. I was like, okay, whatever, whatever you're saying, it's fine. I'm just letting you know how we do it. And if you're open to learning, great. But if you're not, we're just not a good fit. And every single time I would say we're not a good fit, the agent got flustered. He said, what do you mean we're not a good fit, right? So like, I back off deals, guys, all the time. I'm like, we're just, I want to give your seller what they want. I'm going to give them, their payments, everything else. I'll structure it so the seller's protected. But if you want a traditional sale, like, I'm not your buyer. Like, I'm not buying this traditionally. I'm not giving you $2.6 million for this property if I'm going to buy it through a bank, because I'm not going to cash flow. So if you want to find yourself an investor that is able to cash flow this property, go ahead. But that's not me. But if you want this to work out for the seller, yourself, and us, and get this to the finish line and have your seller paid and move on, because he's like an older gentleman, he wants to get rid of his whole portfolio. A lot of these properties are in Los Angeles, which is kind of crazy, because nobody wants to buy in LA, but there's a lot of people that want to buy Subtos in LA, and Kreative deals, which is cool. So even though it's not a rental market, but it's a high appreciation market. So they'll deal with the bullshit with the tenants and evictions and stuff like that, because they know that property is going to appreciate so much, like in the next 5 or 10 years, especially multi-units in LA. I mean, you're not going to find a lot of those. So kind of just always make sure to step back a little bit. Like, you know what? I don't know if I'm like the best person for this I don't know if we're a good fit, because, I want to give you what you want, but you're not giving me what I want. And the scale is just unbalanced. It's skewed to your side. And like, I don't know how you want me to make money. I don't know how you want me to refinance you guys out in such a short amount of time. So listen, if you can sell this traditionally, by all means, go sell it traditionally, and just keep me in your back pocket. I'm not sure if we're gonna have the funds to purchase it in a month or two, but we have them now. So if you want to move forward, I can move forward with you. And so to just kind of like be nonchalant about it. As you can see, like, I don't a lot, I don't actually a lot, I don't basically a lot. Like, those are like trigger words that are psychological. When people hear you say that, automatically they think that, okay, this person might not know what he's talking about, or he might not be that knowledgeable. And so you got to be careful with the trigger words that you use. And those are some trigger words. Like, if you hear yourself umming a lot, like, that's not good. Like that means you're not confident, or you're not knowledgeable in what you're selling, and you're not exuding that confidence over the phone, because people can feel that, guys. Like, people can feel you being confident, knowing what you're talking about. And if you're just like, a scared fox in the like in the, in the burrow, then they're gonna feel that. They're gonna take advantage of that, right? And then you're not gonna be in control anymore. They will be in control of the conversation, which is exactly what you don't want them to be. You want them to talk more, right? But you also want them to see you as an authoritarian, authority figure as well, because you're the ones buying this property. You're the ones making the offer. The agents are getting paid like 10, 20, 30 grand on these deals. Like, they're not doing you a favor by selling you this property, right? So just keep that in mind. You're the ones putting money in their pocket so they can feed their families. So so that's why people always like ask me, like, these sub twos, we take over like 3% interest rates. Like, oh, how, like, what if you miss payments? Well, listen, like, that's because you're getting these conversations because the sellers are not trusting you. They're not trusting you in what you're saying. They're not trusting you in how you're answering the questions. They're giving you objections. You're umming on the rebuttals. Like, this is all, like, you have to learn this stuff. This stuff doesn't come in just one day. Like, you can't expect to get on the phone and be like me, right? It's not going to happen. Like, this is years of practice. This is years of conversations. This is years of conference calls. This is years of um there goes my right, shit, I call myself. This is just like pure, like, reps every single day that we put in, right? Talking to agents and talking to sellers, and making them realize that, hey, this might be a good offer for you, this might not be a good offer for you, or just, just kind of back away, say we might not be a good fit, but hey, listen, if you don't sell this traditionally, I might still be interested, our company might be interested. And don't act like you're like a single man band, right? Because if you're like a single man band, then they're gonna be like, oh, well, how is this guy gonna afford this, or how is this guy gonna afford that? Always, make yourself known as like an actual company, that buys these properties. You have exit strategies. Talk about what you're going to do with these properties, whether it's midterm rental, short-term rental, long-term rental. Let them know, like, paint a picture, like, you're going to operate this. This is what you're going to do. Like, maybe if it's an Airbnb, you have a partner that operates Airbnbs. Give them an example. Maybe you've worked with a realtor in the area, that she can provide a reference for you. There's so many things that you can do, but in the end, like, you have to make the offer, whether they like it or not. Either they'll say no, F you, which doesn't really happen, but they'll laugh or whatever. But and then there's people that'll say, you know what, this offer doesn't sound too bad. Can you maybe increase it just a little bit more? Maybe we can lower the balloon, or maybe we can do an extension with an additional fee on the balloon. And so this is how we get these deals, is because we're transparent, we're upfront about it, we're making the offer, we're making sure it works for the seller, it works for the buyer, for us as well. And the scales are balanced out. So if the seller wants something more, they got to give us something as well. It cannot be like this. Like, the seller's here and we're here. It doesn't work that way. The deals are not going to work. They're not going to cash flow. You're not going to be able to assign them. You're not going to be able to do anything with them. You're not able to buy them because you're going to be buying a bleeding asset, which is something that you never want to do unless you have a really good exit strategy, or you're bringing in a private money partner that is okay bleeding, waiting for appreciation, whatever the case may be. Like, this is a more advanced stuff. Like, if you're bleeding money on a property, you have to be more advanced when it comes to real estate, because you have to understand how long you're going to bleed for, why you're bleeding, how do you stop the bleeding, etc. So just make offers, man. Like, that's it. Just make an offer. Everybody you talk to, make an offer. That's it. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I don't care if you lowball them, make them a cash offer, make them a creative offer, and see which one they bite on. See which one's interested, and see what's they're interested in more. Because these offers that you're making, these offers might be a good offer for that person at the current time, right? Maybe they're going through a divorce, maybe they're going through a change of a relocation. Maybe they were relocated for a job. Maybe they're relocated because they're in the armed services. Maybe they have two houses and that other house is just bleeding their pockets dry, and they're going through the savings account. Maybe somebody passed away and they just don't want to live in that house anymore. Maybe they were with somebody for 40, 50 years and their spouse just died and they live in this 3,000 square foot home and they want to downsize, but the market sucks and you're their only option, right? There's just like so many ways, so many interesting things that people are going through that you will never comprehend or understand unless you're going through them and unless you uncover the real truth behind the reason why they're selling and why they're talking to you. Because if you present a creative offer to somebody, they're not talking to you because they can sell the house in the market or they can just bleed or wait for 6 months to a year. They're talking to you because they need to move that property. Something is going on in the background that you have to find out. So you have to become a detective. You have to become Inspector Gadget. You got to put your detective hat on and start asking the right questions. And as Pace always says, find the bunnies, right? Find the bunnies, and find the bunnies, and you'll get the deal. Because what people like to do business, people what they like, they trust, and I forgot. I think that's they like, they trust. I forgot what the third one is. Somebody's gonna help me out on this one. Does anybody on Instagram know the third one? They want to do business with you because they like you, they trust you, and what else? Somebody help me out here on TikTok or Instagram. But yeah. So yeah, I mean that's basically wait, they like you or they trust you, or no, they don't like you, they don't trust you, or they just don't have the money, which is like in sales, but this is real estate. So they either don't like you or they don't trust you or they don't like the offer. So if somebody says no to you, say, Mr. Seller, most of the time when somebody says no to me, there's three reasons why. And I want to, and as I've been very transparent and honest with you from the get-go, be honest with me. Is it that you don't like me? Is it that you don't trust me? Or is it that you don't like something about the offer? And then just be quiet and wait to see what they say. And if they don't like you, well, then they just don't like you. Have somebody else call from your team. If they don't trust you, find out why they don't trust you. Maybe you can put something in there that will give them a peace of mind, maybe a default provision, maybe a default clause in the paperwork. Maybe you'll sign a deed in lieu of foreclosure and have title hold it and have instructions in there, or have a servicing company hold it. There's so many things that you can do to make the seller feel comfortable. But number one, they have to like you. So if you're not a likable person over the phone, it's going to be very hard for you to get a deal. I'll tell you that much. So maybe you're just better off not doing acquisitions. Maybe your skill set is in something else, or maybe you need more practice, because it's very hard to kind of hate somebody over the phone. Like there's different personalities, right? There's A, B, and C, and D. And you have to know what personality you're dealing with, right? There's the emotional personalities. There's the ones that get to the straight point. Then there's the empath, right? There's a lot of different personalities that you have to. There goes again. There's my every time I say I should like punch my knee or something. So you guys have to really understand your sellers that you're talking to, because if you don't understand who you're talking to, it's going to be very hard for you to understand how to approach them and how it is to close them. And so to end this podcast here, they gained something. Yep. Yeah, they do gain something. They always gain something, but you first have to find out what their real motivation is. And it's not selling the house, I'll tell you that much. It's never selling the house. There's always something behind it if they're talking to you. And if you either made a low cash offer, or if you've made a creative offer, there's always something behind that, right? So just find that out, right? Ask the right questions. You don't have to pry or it has to come natural. It has to come within your conversation. You can't just say, well, what's going on in your life? Why are you selling? It's none of your business, bro. Like, why I'm selling because I want to sell my damn house. But if you say, hey, Mr. Seller, your house is beautiful. It's been on the market for this long. Yeah, I got a quick question for you. What's been the feedback so far? And besides getting a fair price for your property, what's another reason that you're looking to sell this property? Because it looks fantastic. And just shut your mouth. Just be quiet. They'll tell you everything. So, guys, would refinancing out a reverse loan to get another done? Okay. When would refinancing? Yeah, well, when there's enough gain and benefit by refinancing the reverse mortgage. I guess this is a different conversation. I got a question about a reverse mortgage here. When we're refinancing out a reverse loan to another one, when there's enough and there is enough cash that's given to the client that the banks deem that it's a tangible benefit is when you could refinance a reverse mortgage. So pretty much with reverse mortgages, you got to get 5 times the amount of money that you're paying for in closing costs for it to be a tangible benefit. So if I'm paying $5,000, they expect me to have like $25,000 that I'm getting back, something along those lines. So it's like 5 times the benefit, 5 times what you're paying for in closing costs, and then they have to get, of course, get approved and all that stuff and the appraisal. But we're getting off the topic here. So guys, just closed Mobile, Alabama yesterday. Super excited. We're going out there. My partner's going out there on Wednesday to take a look at it, meet some realtors, start taking a look at what we're going to do to this property, start taking a look at how much we're going to be putting into it. You guys know me. I'm in and out. I'm not an HDTV flipper. I don't care for that. I want to make the house look nice enough for a family to move in, make it affordable, right? I'm going to put it under market value. Some beautiful family is going to buy it. They're going to have a fantastic home, and they'll be able to do whatever they want with it on the inside. Because some people don't like your style, right? I mean, some people maybe are not into like what you're doing, right? So why spend all that money and do everything and take all that time and effort when you're only going to cater to a certain amount of buyers, right? So leave it up to them. Give them a good price, and then have them remodel whatever, do with themselves. Just do the basics. Like in my case, we're going to paint, we're going to change the carpets, we're going to refinish the floors. We're probably going to, the kitchen cabinets are good because it's a newer home. So we're going to paint the kitchen cabinets, put some new hardware, and maybe, just maybe, I might change the countertop in the kitchen and put quartz in there. That's about it. Now that should probably put me in like 25K maybe. That's about it. And then we're going to list it. And that's it. That's pretty much what we're going to do. And then just have a nice deep clean. I have one lady who needs help, Michael Barcina. Should be emailing you about it. Okay, sounds good. Shoot it over. I'll take a look at it. See if I can help her out. But there goes. Oh shit! Look at this. Thing just fell. My TikTok. There we go. Oh man, that thing came off. Yeah. So guys, if you guys are in Illinois or surrounding suburbs, I'm throwing an event the 29th. So be there. It's gonna be fun. Schaumburg, Illinois, 6 o'clock in Schaumburg. All the stuff is on my social media. So if you're not following me, go on my Facebook, Instagram. It's all on there about the event. And they're fun. They're fun. We go over a lot of things. We go over a lot of different properties that we bought creatively, and properties we bought with hard money and cash and all that stuff, and how we're doing things and how we keep scaling. And it's just overall a great sense of community, of good vibes, good people to align with, do business with. A lot of my friends from Subto are usually there as well. So it's like the only meetup that we have here in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is centralized northwest suburbs, which is fun. So if you guys are in the area, go to Eventbrite, type in Subto Creative Finance with Creative Mike, and I'll see you guys there on Wednesday. Other than that, if you guys need money for transactional lending or creative lending, please go to creativefunds.com. That's with a K. Because if you go to creativefunds.com, I promise you, it'll be the easiest transactional lending funds you're going to get in your life. Because we literally approve it within like 24 hours, and we do things that other people won't do, like things like being a capital partner with you, getting on the operating agreement with you, whatever needs to be done as a capital partner that we contribute, will help you out. So unlike other transactional lenders that have their own overlays, only do certain things, we will do as much as we have to do to satisfy your lender to make sure that we close on your mortgage method, or we help you double close on a wholesale deal or on a cash deal, or if you want to double close on a creative deal because you're making too much money, whatever the case may be. Typically, like, people like to double close when they're making more than 25K. So they don't want the seller or buyer to see it, is what the number is, like what I usually see. And then you have your people that, are doing mortgage methods and need creative transactional lending, and that is an art of its own. So you're not going to find that with just any transactional lender. You're not going to find that with any title company. If you want to work with somebody that not only has the full team, the capacity, the bandwidth, the understanding, the knowledge, everything from like start to finish, you guys can reach out to us and we can help you. We have a package where we can help you, where we can consult on your mortgage. Jesus Christ, this damn phone, man. My pop socket keeps falling off. My light keeps turning off. But anyways, that's that. It's gonna be a good day today, and got a lot of work to do, but everything should be good. Got my live going on TikTok. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to be at Rhea Campbell's event on the 31st as well. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So catch me there. I'll be there from like 5 to 8 on Friday with the reception and everything. And then everything else, I'll be there throughout the whole weekend. So I might even get a little Airbnb or a hotel there. We'll see. I think I'm still deciding. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. I hope this was valuable information to you, and I hope you take it with you and do something with it. Remember, make offers, 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 offers. Okay. So my name is Creative Mike. This has been the Creative Mike Show. Follow me on YouTube, Creative Mike with a K. Instagram, Creative Mike _Creative Mike, TikTok, Creative Mike, and then go to creativefunds.com to get your funds. Okay. If you want to DM me, you want to collab, do whatever, shoot me a DM. We'll see if we align. And if we align, we'll stay in the same line. If we don't align, we'll move to the next line. All right. So as always, stay creative, my friends. My name is Creative Mike. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.